Jackson heading into the Dave Nice games.
So it's game week, and usually you would be scouting. Now you're coaching. So what's that transition like for you, depending on others scouting for you? Curiosity.
Well, rule number one: hire a good staff, right? So we have a really good staff. I trust them. They've all been doing it for a long time, so I trust them to do their jobs.
It's been fun though so far. This transition hasn't it?
Yeah, the transition's been really fun. I I was just talking the other day about just the time. The people ask what's the difference between being an assistant and a head coach. Well, from my experience, my short experience is just the time that requires of, of a head coach.
When you look at the film from yesterday, how much have you had a chance to kind of digest that and evaluate what you saw?
You know what? Just got done watching it for the second time this morning. I liked our energy. I liked our intensity. Saw some things we need to clean up. We missed too many layups around the rim. Free throws 13 for 18, so we got to clean that type of things up. And then just defensively on drives, I would like to see us more physical once a guy gets a step on us. But all in all, I was impressed with our effort.
I know you've worked hard to instill some core values in the team this summer, and one of those is that physicality that you think. How have you seen some of those concepts translate to their play?
Well, I think last night we had 7 times we were first to the floor. That little inkling is telling me that these guys are catching on. They're buying in. We want to set the tone, especially in our home gym. We want to set the tone. So whenever there's an opportunity to be on the floor, we don't want to just watch. We want to dive on it. Because we want to claim the ball. And the one Nutter dove out of bounds last night. I think he dove out, but it was a distance that he dove. And I think those plays like that really sets the tone. So these guys, men, are good young men. That's why it's important for us to recruit character first. And usually when you have good character guys, they'll catch on, they'll buy in.
Of the couple guys that didn't participate, was that just because you felt like it didn't need necessarily the warm up, so to say?
Yeah. We held a couple guys out. They were available. They were available, but we decided to keep them out.
It's also good from the standpoint that if you don't have them there, you had guys that could step up and fill those roles.
Yeah, we have a lot of new guys, so as much time as they can get on the floor and kind of get acclimated to what we're doing. You had a guy like Obina. He's been here. This is his 5th year. So Cade, a guy, he's played college, but this is his first experience here. So he needed that time on the floor last night, and I thought he did a heck of a job.
Anything surprise you from what you saw last night?
Surprise me? No, not really. Not really. I wasn't surprised by anything. Like I said, man, we're a work in progress. It was just good to get out and play someone else last night so we can kind of get an idea of really what we need to work on. In practice, guys know your plays. They know your tendencies because we've been doing this thing since the summer. So we play a team like Pikeville last night, and they don't really know our tendencies, hadn't really seen a lot of these guys play. So it's easy for us coaches to get a feel really for what we need to work on.
You think one exhibition game's enough? Do you wish you had another?
No. I mean, we had a couple inter-squad scrimmages. I think one is plenty. We open up with D&E next week, so it's here. We have older guys who's been through it. They just hadn't been through it here, so I think one is plenty.
Is there anything from a preparation standpoint that changes from summer workouts, preseason camp to a game week and rhythm wise?
Yeah, summer is we had a couple goals this summer, right? Get better as a team and grow as a team. Those are their 2 summer goals. I think we accomplished those goals this summer. But obviously, when you look at a game versus summer's a little bit more lax. Game week is a lot more focused. So we have to be on our P's and Q's mentally and physically versus the summer. It's kind of, hey, it's fun, it's laughter and get to know each other, but now it's business. So that's pretty much the difference in preparation.
And specifically, now it's game week, is there anything that you're looking for or you're keeping an eye on as they get ready for an actual, it counts in the record book game?
Yeah, we just want to keep our focus. We want to keep our focus. Again, a lot of these guys have been around for a while in college basketball at all different levels. We have a couple freshmen, three freshmen in Hatton. So our main thing, Paul, is just to keep our focus, right? We've been coming in and day out, working our tails off, doing what the coaches have asked. And our main thing now is just keep that focus, the same focus going into game week.
What's it like coaching two sets of brothers?
You know what? That's a good question. I haven't really thought about that. That's a good question. The brothers have been awesome. Again, character guys, good families, come from winning. The twins, again, they were 64 and 8, I think, something like that the last 2 years. So those guys, again, they come in, they do whatever you ask them to do, and they put it on the line day in and day out.
Have you noticed that with the brothers, is it brother on brother, or is it the brothers versus the brothers as far as the competitive juices?
Well, you know what? We kind of try to separate them some, just so we can build that. That was a thing during the summer. So we took we went on a team retreat, and that was one of the deals, right? The brothers had to split up. Because sometimes, you ride with your brother, you room with your brother, you eat with your brother. So we wanted to split the brothers up just so they can get a feel for the other guys on the team.
How about that guy like you mentioned the youth, some of our freshmen, but a guy like Mike Dawson who comes in with a lot of experience and proved to be pretty versatile. You guys also.
Yeah, Mike Dawson, he's a winner. He won at a high level at Akron. And I've been so impressed with his maturity. I knew Mike, but I didn't know Mike until he got here. And his work ethic is unbelievable. His maturity, the way he approaches things day in and day out, has really stood out to me since he's been here in this short time.
What do you know about Davis and Elkins?
Not a whole lot. You know what? I haven't really had a chance to focus on them. I watched us and wanted to see what we can clean up from last night. But right after this, I'm headed back down. I'll grab some lunch, and then I'll start watching D&E.
It's a mentality of, okay, they got to prepare for you, so you got to make sure you're doing what you want to do, especially with a game like this where there's really not much out there on them before first game.
Right. Well, I believe their coach has been there. I do know that. I think this is his third season. So a lot of times coaches usually do a lot of the stuff that they've done in the past. So we'll try to get some habits and try to get a feel for his coaching styles and his philosophies just by watching film. But again, we have to make sure that our guys are ready. We have to make sure that we're healthy mentally and physically. We're off today. We'll practice, what's tomorrow, Tuesday. We'll go Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, then we'll take it on through the weekend up in the game day.
On past Marshall teams, it's been oftentimes the offense that provides the energy on the floor. Do you think that flips this year? Do you think, you've talked about the physicality and you want to be the first on the floor, and do you think that identity, that energy starts on defense for you?
I do. I want it to, at least. I think each team is different. You're speaking of the teams from the past. I've been here. This is my 8th season now. So, I was here with John and CJ and Andy and Penova and all those, really talented players. And I told our guys, I said, take me out, not walking in the door, right? So let's figure out a way, all right, to do it a different way, and each team is different. I think with this team, the physicality, the toughness, the grit overpowers what we really can do on the offensive end. So again, we want our offense to start with the defense, and that was my mentality as a player. That's what I want my teams to be about. Not we had 90 points last night, so obviously we still want to score, but we just want to start it a little different.
Not only as a coach, but also as a former player, is it interesting to see games like exhibition games? They're under the lights, they're in front of people. Certain guys turn it on in practice, certain guys turn it up when the lights come on. Is that something that you all are looking for the first few games of the year?
Turning it off and on.
No, just to see who can elevate themselves when the lights come on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you always do, right? And I could tell last night the difference in a few guys. Just, it's game time. I watched a little bit of warm ups, and I can just tell they had a different pep in their step. But that's always important, as a coach. You're always evaluating that. Okay, who can perform when the lights are really on? It's easy to perform when you're in a arena with nobody watching. But when you have 2 to 5 to 7 to 10 to 14 when we go to Purdue, who's gonna perform when the lights are on? So that's always something we're evaluating as coaches. Good. Appreciate you guys. Go Herd.